So breastfeeding is very important because it's the best food for the baby right after delivery. It's natural. That's what nature, how nature has made it. That every mom will be able to feed the baby, and it's not costly. It's just available for the mother to feed. Why is it important? That's the question you
Yeah,
asked,
what's
right?
important?
Yes. So first of all, to nourish the baby. And it also protects the baby against infections and therefore against diseases as
It
well,
contains
like
antibodies.
diarrhea, antibodies, right? And also because the mother, is right there, it doesn't have any contact with dirt or anything at all. All the mother needs to do is good personal hygiene, and it's safe for the baby. It also serves as a contraceptive for the mother, and so it delays pregnancy after that baby that the mother has. So if the mother is doing exclusive breastfeeding, when we say, as you said, breastfeeding, there is breastfeeding and there is exclusive breastfeeding.
Okay.
So exclusive breastfeeding means you are giving the baby only breast milk. You are not giving water, you are not giving any form of porridge. So it's just breast milk you are feeding the baby for the first 6 months of life. And that is called exclusive breastfeeding. And when a mother does that very well, it serves as a form of contraceptive.
Okay.
And it also serves as a form of weight loss. So mothers give birth and they're crying about their weight. So if you're doing exclusive breastfeeding, you are sharing your nutrition with the baby. And so you're likely to shed off some weight as you're doing that. So it's very good for the baby. It's readily available wherever you are. You can put the baby to the breast and feed the baby adequately.
All right. Before I come to the next question, let me inform viewers that the phone lines are activated. So if you have any questions related to what we are discussing, breastfeeding, and now she's made us understand that we have breastfeeding and exclusive breastfeeding. So you can call through and then we will allow you, ask you your question so that Helena, the nutritionist, would give you an answer to that.
Sure.
Now, let's come to some mothers give birth and then they say that looking at my baby, he's such that he's heavy, he can eat banku, and they start trying the baby on banku even within 3 months. Is it good that way?
All right, that's unfortunate for a baby to start eating banku at 3 months.
No,
That's
banku rice and then it's like soft a little
no,
bit.
yeah. So it's not right for any mother to give the baby banku or rice at 3 months. So like I said earlier, for the first 6 months, we have the World Health Organization undertaking research, and based on that evidence-based research, they give recommendations. So according to research, the breast milk is nutritionally adequate for the first 6 months of life. Okay, so it contains adequate amount of water. So you don't need to add water. So giving the baby banku or cocoa because you think that the breast milk alone is not enough for the baby is just a myth. So
Okay.
it's just not right for the child. It's breast milk, or I don't even know why you would decide to give the banku at 3 months. Otherwise, there are genuine reasons
Soft.
why any mother, not even whether soft or not, banku or porridge is not the way to go at 3 months. So if genuinely there's a reason why the mother cannot breastfeed, there are appropriate feeds that the mother can give to the baby, and we call them breast milk substitutes. So breast milk substitute doesn't mean you can substitute anything. There are suitable substitutes for babies who are not, unfortunately, they are not
Which is not cocoa,
breastfed.
no banku or anything.
No.
So the breast milk substitute are sold and you can get one for the child.
Yes, and that should be based on recommendation by the doctor
Okay.
or the nutritionist.
Okay. Now, so a parent decides not to feed the baby only with breast milk, but chooses to add the porridge whatsoever. So you've made us understand that it is not the best.
No.
What effect could come to the baby?
Okay, so the baby is 3 months. The baby has
Or below 6
nutritional
months,
needs.
and
Yes,
then-
below 6 months, the baby has some nutritional needs, and the breast milk is such that it's just right for the baby at that time. So some mothers if a mother decides to feed a baby banku, what are you going to add to the banku? It's just carbs, one. What else is the baby getting from that? Are you going to give the baby soup? Are you going to, at 3 months? And the baby's organs or system is still developing, so you don't need to burden the baby with heavy foods, especially heavy sources of proteins. So you need something that has been formulated to be close to breast milk, which are the appropriate breast milk substitutes that can be given to the baby. And like I said, it should be based on recommendation by the pediatrician or GP or the nutritionist. So it's really not safe, because if the mother doesn't even keep good personal hygiene, apart from the nutritional bit, it can introduce some infections because of contamination of the food.
Really
and all
not,
that.
it is not good
wrong.
at all.
Not at all. It's not good.
All right. Then again, some mothers, due to the nature of their work, they have nannies at home or whoever taking care of their baby. So going to work, they understand that, yes, I need to give the baby breast milk. So I squeeze the breast milk into a feeding bottle for the nanny or whoever taking care of the baby to feed the baby with it when the baby is hungry.
Right.
Is it right to do that or not?
Definitely, it's right for the mother to express breast milk into a bottle. And these days we are discouraging bottle feeding, because some mothers may not wash the bottles very well and the milk can get stuck in the teeth of the bottle. So we encourage cup feeding. Okay, so it's good for the mother to express the milk when they are away, and every mother should know how much the baby feeds at a time. So if at birth the stomach capacity is about 30 mils, so before the baby is a month old, you can do 30 mils at a time. You don't express 150 mils into a bottle. You feed a little to the baby, you put it on the side, and then when the baby is hungry, you continue feeding from that same bottle.
It's 30 mils.
So that's at birth. So as the baby is growing, by 1 month, the stomach capacity is about 90.
There's a caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Hello, good morning. My name is Sewa. I'm calling from Kumasi. I want to know, if you have silicone or an enhancement, breast enhancement, can you breastfeed, and is it safe?
Did you hear that?
Yes, I did hear that.
Okay.
So if you have silicone or breast enhancer, you need to talk to your general practitioner, because some of these things may come with some other additives that you may have to add and all. And then if the baby should ingest that, it's going to cause problems for the baby. So basically the best thing is for you to have your normal breast to be able to feed the child. But if you have an enhancer, then you need to really talk to your general practitioner or your pediatrician for maybe proper examination to be sure of what goes into that particular enhancer, so that they can advise you accordingly.
All right. And then does a mother have a choice to feed a baby breast milk or not? Because somebody will give birth and chooses that I don't want to feed my baby with breast milk. Perhaps they think that when they feed the baby with breast milk, it will loosen their breast whatsoever, because the baby is going to be holding the breast. Does a mother have a choice, or it is a must that you should feed a baby breast milk?
Okay, so there are laws, but people break the laws, right? So at the end of the day, it depends on the mother, but we have recommendations. We've told you that the best food for your baby is breast milk, and we encourage that. So I could say it's a must, but when the mother goes home, it's her decision. And for her to obey or go by the right thing to do lies with her. And so I would just like to encourage every woman to practice exclusive breastfeeding, because your baby will not get diarrhea. Even when you have to put the baby it saves you time of having to wash bottles or, other things. Even it saves you money if you have to do exclusive breastfeeding. So to say it's a must, yes, we could say that, but at the end of the day, it depends on the mother.
Okay. And then for how long does a mother need to feed the child breast milk? After 6 months, can the mother decide that, okay, 6 months exclusive breastfeeding, so I am stopping, or it has to go on for some time, just as perhaps she is now introduced the child to some different food?
Okay, so good question. So after 6 months, it's recommended that the mother continues to breastfeed for up to 2 years, or as long as the mother is able to.
2 years. I'm not sure my mother did that to me.
You're not sure. So I was told a joke that there's a guy, a toddler who goes to school, comes back, buys biscuits, and then eats it with the breast milk.
Oh, wow.
So Up to 2 years, that's the recommendation, or for as long as the mother is able to, if the mother wants, but that will not be because of the nutritional benefits, because after 6 months breast milk alone is not nutritionally adequate, so you need to add other foods. You need to introduce the infants to local foods, and that is done gradually, and that's when the softness comes in. You start with the smoothies, the purees, from a texture that's close to the breast milk, and then you
gradually,
yeah,
the child can start munching
sure,
yam and
sure,
plantain.
sure.
Okay, so in conclusion, what advice would you give parent? Now, I also wanted us to touch on what kind of food should a mother be eating whilst breastfeeding a child. I think that is equally an important one, because I don't think the mother can eat any food when she is feeding a baby, or is that so?
Well, the mother can eat anything at all when they are breastfeeding, yes. So mostly the mother should take in a lot of fluids, because breast milk is more water, about 80 to 90% water for breast milk. So the mother needs to take in a lot of porridges, a lot of fruits, a lot of fluids.
Vegetables?
Yes, a lot of soups and vegetables, fruits and vegetables, because they'll provide the necessary vitamins and minerals that the mother needs, and also what the baby needs, because there are some nutrients that the baby requires from the food that the mother will be taking in, and other nutrients the baby will take from the stores. It comes from the stores, maternal stores. So the mother can eat anything, but should take in more fluids, should add a lot of fruits and vegetables to their diets. And that's what we call the 4-star diet. We can talk about that some other time, but just make sure you have a lot of fruits and vegetables in the diet and a lot of fluids.
All right, so now...
And then I just want to also add that if the mother can eat anything, there are some babies who have allergies. So for such babies, if the mother is able to tell early, the mother will be advised not to take foods like milk, foods like seafood, like soy, those or peanuts. Those are foods that are allergenic, and so the baby may react to those foods when the mother takes them. So the mother would want to be careful, especially if your baby has some coloring in the eye, if the baby is getting rashes, if the skin is peeling off. The mother would want to watch what they are eating to be sure. Otherwise, they can take the baby to the hospital for a more professional evaluation.
What of medicine intake of mothers?
Yes, so there are mothers that are not, there are medicines that are not advisable to take when you are breastfeeding. So that too should be advised by the medical practitioner.
Okay, and then finally your advice to breastfeeding mothers.
Okay, so my advice is that breast milk is the best food that you can give to your baby. So for the first 6 months, I encourage every mother to practice exclusive breastfeeding and continue breastfeeding with appropriate complementary foods for up to 2 years. And also that if your baby may have allergies, so you need to watch what you're eating and be mindful. So for foods like eggs, milk, seafoods, nuts, you need to be mindful of those foods, especially if you are seeing some reactions from your baby. And there are different breastfeeding positions that the mother can choose, about 8 of them. The mother can choose any of those positions to feed the baby. And if you are very busy, you can express your breast milk and leave it with whoever has to take care of your baby.
The positions, the 8, could you demonstrate some of them? Because
I don't have a baby.
I heard that some parents, maybe the baby will be at the back, and then you just take the breast, throw it to the back. So, you can feed.
So I don't know how well the baby will be able to latch for that kind of
with
position anyway, but you see, we have the cradle position.
Okay, cradle.
That's kind of the traditional one where you put the baby on here, you have the back of the neck in the elbow joint this way, and then you can breastfeed. Key is that the nipple, together with the dark area around the nipple, should be in the baby's mouth so the baby can latch properly. If the baby doesn't latch properly, sucking will be difficult, and also the mother is likely to have sores around the nipples, and that will make breastfeeding difficult. So we have the cradle, we have the cross cradle, we have, I think they can show it to the screen, the various breastfeeding positions. We have pictures to demonstrate that. We have the football hold, we have when you are sleeping. Sometimes you are sleepy at night and the baby still wants to feed. So the mother, it's okay for the mother to lie down and feed the baby whilst sleeping. Not necessarily with the eyes closed, but you need
Lying
to
down.
watch, just to reduce the stress on the mother, so the mother can take any of those positions that are showing on the screen.
All right. All right. Thank you very much. It's been quite a learning period with Helena, the nutritionist, and we have been talking about breastfeeding. And we go for a quick break. We come back, and then Amma handles Battle of the Sexes.